The purpose of this video is to introduce units of instruction and the key benefits provided by this feature. As we begin, we are logged in. We notice our name on the top left corner, as well as the pencil next to it, which means we can update our profile. Now again, we're starting this video assuming that you have a room developed. I have my basic ICAT room displayed here. In addition, I have already clicked in one of my room areas. Remember, as you develop rooms, you can create the room areas listed on the left. Now in this case, I'm going to focus my attention on this item here, Unit Preview, and underneath it, notice I have two areas. So this is a header that you can't click. These are the two areas. This is a unit in a resource area, and then I created one that says unit in a task area. So for starters, what I'd like to do is go to Room Preferences and give you a background for what it is you're going to be seeing. So here's the Unit Preview header. More importantly, the type of area that was created is a resource and then a task. So notice I named them Unit in a resource area and then Unit in a task area. This is not normal. You probably wouldn't want to do this for your actual courses. However, wanted to do this so that you would be able to understand the development and how your students would be seeing the information. Nothing to save here. I'll back out. Now again, all of the content's already been developed at this point. I just want to show you the difference between presenting it from a task area or presenting a unit from a resource area. So as we can see, I'm in task area. Notice the indicator. Okay, so the unit preview listed here is actually the name of the unit. In this case, Pencil Sharpener Museum. Then we have a mechanical pencil assembly and a mechanical system quiz. So these are the three activities inside of a unit. So for example, Task 1, we want our students to go take a look at historically what's been going on with simple machines. In this situation, notice the set of buttons is markedly different than if we open it up as a resource. I'll choose back off of this. So the exact same task, if we look at it from a resource area, Pencil Sharpener Museum, remarkably different. Now you're looking at it simply the raw task, not as a task being assigned. The delivery of any task either should come from the default manager or delivery from a task area. Again, for review, if I click on a given task, this is the display from a resource area. Notice there's no turn-in button. The exact same task from a task area now creates a place where you could provide instructions. They have a place to turn in their work as well as the turn in button. Now, how do I effectively group a series of tasks into a unit of instruction? The remainder of this video is going to focus on just that point. To start with, we want to understand how the resource itself is created. I'm going to click the Resources tab. In this case, I'm going to go to a shared area. I have a folder out there called a Simple Machine Unit. This is a series of tasks designed for a tech engineering student, roughly 7th or 8th grade. Now as we go through some of this content, you're going to see that some of it is an activity. Then we have assessment pieces, for example, a rubric and a test. The museum, basically will be a bookmark, then the associated tasks. And finally, we will wrap all of the tasks up into a unit. Now again, if I just click from the resources to display a unit, so in this case the unit preview, it will display just as if it was in a resource viewer. Very similar to what we saw when we looked at a unit being displayed from a resource area. Again, I'll click on the Pencil Sharpener Museum, and once again it looks just like the viewer. Not until you actually assign the task and the student sees it from either a task area or from their task manager does it actually look like a given assignment. Now let's get some terminology straight. An activity is like your lap job sheet. I'm going to open up this activity. The mechanical pencil sharpener assembly activity begins by providing teacher goals and objectives, student goals and objectives. You can provide an engaging question. More importantly, we might want to provide some prerequisites. In this case, using some terminology that maybe our students aren't used to using, for example, assemble, disassemble, reassemble, required resources, and then the actual instruction necessary to complete the task. So for review, an ICAT activity closely resembles your lap job sheet. I'll choose back to close out of that particular resource. The next is making sure that we have the appropriate means to communicate how we will be assessing a student's activity. So in this case, the rubric was created, so it's the grading criteria for the mechanical system pencil sharpener activity. So notice, part of the requirements for the student is to sketch, label parts, identify part function, and again, each one of these is on a 3-2-1 basis, as well as when you get ready to grade it, you can provide optional points, or in this case, comment as to why maybe points were lost. I'll choose back. The next resource type is another assessment piece, which is the test. When I click on the mechanical system test, this might be the last thing we ask them to do in a unit of instruction. Any test that you click just to display inside a resource area can be used as a review. However, you may also deliver the exact same resource, in this case a test, for a preview, as well as the actual exam, calculating the points. I'll choose back. I don't need to actually work through this test.